let me talk a little bit about digital ed. This is that I'm referring to, which I work at, of course. We are, our presence is felt in more than 300 schools worldwide. We have customers in North America, Latin America, Europe, Asia, Australia. We're definitely all over the map. Just this year, we have 440,000 at least class enrollments. Last time I checked was a few months ago. And to date, we've graded about 17 million different assessments. And that's not just questions we grade, that's actual assignments and exams and placement tests all rolled into one. So that's how we do those KPIs right there, those stats indicators. Now, in relation to digital ed, the company, let me just talk about that a little bit here. There are 4 things that drive us, the company, and they're listed here. The first is frictionless education, the idea that students should have access to and teachers should have ownership of content that they can customize with seamless integrations across the ed tech system, right? There shouldn't be any complications to access good STEM material. Now, in terms of learning anywhere, this is globally, right? People should be able to access the content online on demand when they need to. Now, as well, though, we do feel that data-driven empathy is a big part of teaching and learning. The ability to discover trends, present opportunities for growth and enhanced learning experiences, and just leveraging this content-rich data to make education better for students. And of course, we do believe that technology should be available to students anywhere globally without compromise, right? There's a lot of things out there that make it sometimes difficult or limited to certain devices. We believe that we want to automate and de-risk the deployment globally through cloud-native processes and standards-compliant policies. Basically, I'm trying to say Möbius is available to users worldwide, regardless of where they are, and we do a lot of effort to make sure that's possible. Now, that's the company, Digital Ed. Let me talk now about Möbius. This is the platform that Digital Ed offers to the market. It's the STEM-first digital learning platform, Möbius. We improve the end-to-end student experience by first promoting learning through active processing, dynamic testing, facilitating evidence-based optimization of learning, which is kind of what that data-driven empathy I was referring to, and of course, supporting the ecosystem of creating your material, but also sharing it with other people. Now, with that in mind, if I could sum up Möbius in 6 points, it'd be that we help you bring these complex STEM disciplines to life with our world-class math engine. So we don't use an existing programming language for grading math questions. We don't use Python or Fortran. We actually use our own world-class math engine that we license appropriately. We also provide students with immediate and meaningful feedback, right? It's not just the correct answer they're shown when they get something wrong. It's proper feedback that gives them insight into what they did and didn't do properly. As well, we do provide access to high-quality pre-built content created by experts that help you get up and running quickly with our platform. As well, we do allow you to create and use powerful multimedia and visualizations to specifically geared towards STEM concepts. We also promote the ability to go beyond simple question types. It's not just fill in the blank. It's not just multiple choice. A lot of different opportunities for open-ended, really sophisticated math questions are in the platform, which all can be algorithmically generated and randomized for your students, providing truly unique learning experiences. And of course, just to kind of mention at the end there, we seamlessly integrate into your existing learning management system or your ecosystem. So if you use platforms like Canvas or Blackboard or Brightspace, etc., Möbius plugs right in very seamlessly. Now, of course, depending on your school's profile and academic policies, we do have a standalone version of Möbius as well. We can use it without connecting to your LMS, but I will be honest, a lot of our customers today, especially in the last year, love having Möbius integrated right into their LMS just for that seamless approach to deploying the content right at the fingertips of students. Now, with that in mind, I do want to focus this a little bit, but STEM is our focus, especially mathematics, right? We have over 50 different math question types available through our platform, all across from high school mathematics to your colleges, for your colleges, things such as college algebra, both beginners, intermediate, advanced, even remedial, all the way through the calculus series and linear algebra, differential equations, more advanced statistics courses. We offer these in the platform, and that's because math has been our focus, and STEM specifically, since the beginning. We haven't flaked back and forth between different disciplines. Our focus is on STEM, and that is our focus going forward. So anything you see here on the left-hand side, different topics, different question types, we support in the platform. In terms of functionality, though, definitely things that are top of mind to mention is we do grade for equivalency, but we go beyond equivalent grading. We also allow you to set certain constructs that are required, right? So the problem with equivalent grading, just out of the box by its own, is that students become intelligent and that they understand that if they type in equivalent responses that are more or less going around the system, they can get credit when they shouldn't deserve it. Whereas with Möbius, you can enforce certain constructs to be required as well. So, simplified, expanded, certain formats, vector notation, maybe certain matrices in certain formats. You can require things to be in certain ways so that students can also just prove their learning, accurately. Now, with that in mind, we do believe, and this is a part of my presentation today, though, is the idea of getting started quickly is, difficult sometimes. Sometimes the platform requires you to really onboard yourselves. Could take months, could take longer than months. You might have to hire a small army of co-ops to help you build a course. We believe in providing you with tools that allow you to use pre-built content from experts but also to have the opportunity to modify and edit and enhance all the content we give you for free to your own curriculum, right? So one thing we try to really separate ourselves from is that, we don't give you out of the box content that you are locked into. You have full permission and opportunities to adjust and modify as whatever way you need to. With that in mind, our content packs do cover, we have about 30 content packs today that are included with Möbius. Like I said, we cover a wide range of mathematics and STEM courses that are listed on the right-hand side here. And they are full courses. It's not just a question bank. It's not just, videos that they can watch. It's full courses with learning material, assessments, question banks, interactivities. They're all included with each individual content pack that covers a topic on the right-hand side. And yes, some of our topics do have multiple options for content packs from different authors. Maybe some are from OpenStax, maybe some are from other publishers, maybe some are from institutions who have, tried, true, and tested their content and made it available to other Möbius users. A lot of our topics on the right-hand side have multiple content packs. You can really hone down and focus on material that matches up and aligns with your curriculum, of course. Now, with that in mind, you might be wondering, why do I need Möbius and a learning management system? I've already deployed my calculus course through my LMS. Why do I need Möbius too? I mean, for better words, LMSs, we find they fall short. They lack math engines. I find the furthest that an LMS goes is having like a symbolic math entry tool, and that's it. With Möbius, using our sophisticated math engine to truly grade student responses and even allowing you to customize those grading routines is a big separator from our competitors who are LMSs. And that's why we plug in nicely with them. We play nicely with them. We're official partners with a lot of the LMSs out there because, we make them better for STEM, hands down. Now, with that in mind, I do want to also mention that this is becoming more of a talking point. I know it's not necessarily related to getting your courses up and running quickly, but we do embrace accessibility. So celebrating differences among students and meeting learners where they are. We do conform to WCAG AA requirements for our platform. We also do have our complete VPAT template online that you can review at any time. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, if you are in the world of accessibility, whether you want to or not be, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, I want you to take away that, accessibility is a big part of our future, and we keep it in mind. We have accessibility officers on staff who have been trained efficiently in Section 508 and WCAG guidelines. So it's a big part of our development lifecycle. Now, with that in mind, I want to shift to a demo in which I just showcase some of our different content packs to really show you how things work in the platform, how things behave. Like I mentioned before, just to remind you, if you do have any questions, do put them in the chat window. I will get to them. I'll probably be done in about 10-ish minutes, and we can kind of use that time at the end to review the questions, provide answers, and even just go back and forth in real time. So with that, I'm going to shift my tab here to my Möbius server. So here I'm in Möbius. Like I mentioned before, a lot of our customers, they do use Möbius integrated into their learning management system. Today, I am simply using Möbius standalone for demonstration purposes, but I'm going to log in with my instructor account for Clark Kent. And here I have a few courses I'm teaching. Now, I don't know if many teachers have this variety when they're teaching in a single semester, but for demonstration purposes, I have 3 courses here: Calculus 1, Linear Algebra 1, and Statistics by OpenStack. So my Linear Algebra 1 course and Calculus 1 course are from some of our partner institutions, whereas Statistics was provided by OpenStack. So with that in mind, let me give you an example of what the material looks like. So as a student, of course, you go into your course and you presented with your class homepage, basically, right? And this class homepage has 2 areas. The first is the information area, the details of the class, who the teacher is, how to contact them, where to find them, etc. Whereas below that is the content I as a student can consume. Now, a teacher, of course, controls this content. They control what's available. They control what's not available. They can hide it by certain constraints, such as dates make things available or not available, depending on my previous work history, make things available or not available. A big part of our as you saw, ideologies is to, meet learners where they are. The assumption that every student learns the same, we've come to realize, is not correct, right? Every student has a different learning path, and with Möbius, you can have automatic custom learning paths depending on the previous work, and that's what can happen here. Now, of course, I have everything visible by default just to make sure you get the idea of what a content pack can look like, but this is out of the box. So it's already built for me. I can see all the different units here related to Calculus 1. This is more of a Calculus 1 and 2 course, but it has different flavors of calculus you would see in a typical first year or second year course, and different material. And you can choose what you want to use and what not to use very simply with our content repository area. And what's great is that a student in Möbius, they go through what are called Möbius activities. And those are either, like you see on my screen right here, lessons or assignments. So a lesson is your typical learning module. Students go through it to learn and understand something. It could replace face-to-face lectures. It could replace videos they would watch online, like through YouTube, for example. It could just be supplementary information they can use to reinforce their studies or before an exam. It could be an ebook. It's anything they go through to learn something. That's what a lesson is in Möbius, whereas an assignment in Möbius, this one my mouse is on right now, an assignment could be any online assessment. It could be a placement test or a pre-assessment test. It could be weekly homework, quizzes, tests, exams, finals. It could be, practice quizzes before, they would do something in person, right? The idea is that it's an online assessment. And with both Möbius lessons and assignments, or any activity in Möbius, you customize the delivery. So we have 60 different policies and properties related to the delivery, the feedback, the security about each activity that you can customize. And we do have tools that allow you to quickly apply those policies in bulk to your activities to save you lots of time. And that's what we've heard, that a lot of our other competitors out there in the market, they have similar capabilities, but it's all one by one. Go through each activity one by one, set the policies. It takes forever. Whereas Möbius, you can pre-build your templates and apply them in bulk to all your activities so that you don't have to worry about saying things like that in bulk. Now, also, I'll expand this. We also have this class schedule tool where you can roll over your dates from semester to semester or year to year, so that if you have start dates and due dates, instead of having to redefine them next term or next year, you just use our class schedule tool to automatically move things ahead by 4 weeks or by certain times. It's a very simple process to move your material over from term to term, which can be a real headache sometimes in other platforms. Now let's see what a lesson looks like. So a lesson, like I mentioned before, it's a learning tool. I'll just go to a simple intro to calculus 1, but a lesson has material for learning. The material is up to the teacher though. Even the pre-built content, you have full control to modify it. I just want to reinforce that. So text, math, diagrams, images, all available to modify. Now going to the next unit item here to show you. This right here is an assignment. You can see here that this one's only 5 questions, but it is truly teaching me how to use the platform. But we have numeric questions, we have math formula questions. This simply just allows you to go through, and we have that full, like I mentioned before, symbolic tool editor where I can enter things in symbolically. So my point here is that this is truly an assessment. This is how I go through the platform and respond to questions. I can submit things for grading. See here, it's, you can have multiple parts to each question. The purpose of my demo today is not to show you the different question types we have or to show you the math engine in action. My purpose today is to really show you how how we have content packs available to get you online very quickly. So hopefully that comes across. We do have other material available at our booth to kind of show you the different question types, but needless to say, this is already built for me, right? It's already done. And even going to another lesson here, let me just show you one here. Modeling with derivatives, it's a little bit more into the meat of teaching with calculus. We can see here introductory paragraphs, interactive material that I can play on demand on my screen here. Scrolling down, we do have the opportunity to see math in action. Like I mentioned before, our math is, it's accessible. If you have screen readers, or things to help people for auditory reasons, it can be read by screen readers that support it. Scrolling down, you can see here we also have diagrams and plots made right inside the platform, and we also have this idea of what's called a interactive narrative, things that play back with audio automatically.
For some species of animals, a certain population density is required.
And I sure hope audio is coming through. I didn't have a chance to test this before, but you can have narrated videos or lectures that appear on the screen. And what's great with ours, you might be watching this and thinking, yeah, isn't this just a YouTube video? A scrub bar, things like that. The difference is, I'm watching my screen right now, is that you can actually force Möbius to pause right there. If you saw my screen, it paused the video, and it tells the student to do something in Möbius. Answer another question. Explore an interactive application, right? Do some group work offline, maybe even. What we heard from many instructors was that while they have a lot of talking head videos or Beamer videos, or they have, MP4 files on YouTube, they don't know if students are paying attention. Are they on a different website? Are they on their phones the whole time? Are they getting a sandwich or a coffee? What are they doing, right? So with Möbius, you can interject inside of your video files and your video material, what we call interactive narratives, by the way, pause points or checkpoints that simply are a tool to re-engage the student to the video, right? To make sure they're paying attention, to kind of just bring back that more personal experience. Now, below that, we also have interactive activities. You can see here when I move my these sliders, the thing on the right changes, of course, and the source, where are these from? They come from lots of different sources. We have tools, we have built-in apps that we've seen from GeoGebra, from Desmos, from Maple worksheets. You can integrate a lot of different things into the platform. Basically, anything that's on the web, any HTML object can be integrated and used inside the Möbius platform for further learning. So, it's 2021. Digital ed doesn't expect people to start from scratch. You might already have existing material, existing technology contents, for lack of better words. We invite you to bring those to the Möbius platform and use a lot of the Möbius elements around what you already have. Now, scroll down here. You see I also have some questions here. Immediate feedback. How did I do? I got it wrong. Here's the feedback that actually makes sense to me, and I can go on. Now, this question right here, I will admit, this is static. It's not changing. When I try it again and again, it's the exact same question. But on my next page, as it loads, I want to explain that you can also integrate, more what I would call algorithmic content. So with that, I'll move on to some more of that material here. So that was our Calculus 1 content pack. Now, before I go any further, before I showcase the Linear Algebra 1 or OpenStax 1, if you go to digitaled.com/content, very easy URL to remember, all of our content packs are listed online. You can view them here. You can see what's all about here. There's about 30 to look through. They each have links you can click on to even learn more about the syllabi, where they came from, the pedagogy behind the content pack itself with some screenshots and things like that. And if you want to try out the material, another URL, and I'll maybe ask one of the admins to put this, and maybe Matt, if you're listening, put digital.com/content and digital.com/demo. You can even try out the material. We have a lot of the material already available for you on our website to try out live. So this is a live server, digital.com/content, scroll down. Every content pack we have to offer, we have a sample for. You can just try a sample lesson, sample assignment, go through it, see what it's all about. And that's available to you today. Again, that's digital.com/content and digital.com/demo. Matt, if you're listening and you can communicate to the rest of the people, you can put those in the chat. That'd be very appreciated, my friend. So with that, let me just take the next few minutes before I stop for questions to talk about Linear Algebra 1. This is a newer content pack. We have actually Linear Algebra 1 and 2 available. They cover university level 1 and 2 course. That's usually more taken at the core mathematics level, maybe an engineering course or physics course, but this is available. You see here, again, pre-built lessons. Now, this particular one has quizzes we put in a separate folder. So you can organize and put things however you want to. It's great. And just to show you an idea, here's a sample on vector projections. Man, I haven't done this stuff since second year university, but it's gets back to it. This has interactive narratives pre-built for you. This has definitions of projections. This has, proofs you can go through with your students, examples and exercises where you can actually enter in matrices and vectors, right? Like you can do, okay, I want 3 rows and 3 rows and 1 column, change it to what you want it to be, start from scratch, full tool to get you up and running for the algebra already available. Like I mentioned, this content is pre-built for you. All you gotta do as a teacher, and I'll show you actually, I didn't show you before, but I'll show you now. Go into the content repository as a teacher. You can see all the content listed here. Find the content you like, hide it, show it, remove what you don't want. Maybe even want to create some content from scratch to put alongside of it. Do that. You have full permissions. We're not locking you into the content. It's not read-only access. It's not tied to your textbooks from your publisher. We give you full control to do whatever you want with the content. And that's the beauty of it. And this stuff doesn't cost extra. It's there for your students. It's there for you to use. And as we release more content, we do release new content every few months, a couple new courses every few months that immediately comes available to you. It's not like it's behind you bought in 2021, too bad you can't have 22 content. It's available to you in the starter bundle and for you to use at your will. So that's linear algebra 1. And just to show you as well, we do have OpenStax material. And it's great. It's not just taking the PDF ebook from OpenStax. We actually have, I like to use the verb, if that's the right word. We've mobified it, to make it in Möbius. So you have your lessons, your chapters. It follows the exact chapter structure from OpenStax directly. But we've also provided you with a whole bunch of pre-built assignments, pre-built question banks that are statistics-based. And these assignments are great. They're, what you might be familiar with, is you can see these things. They're algorithmic. The numbers change for each student as they do these numeric questions. They're algorithmic as well, right? So the tables change, the numbers change. They're very unique. The plots change. Like everything's algorithmic, so it's a great tool to use for your students. Now, I've chewed up my time. I love Möbius. I love math, if you couldn't tell. So I just hope you enjoyed the demo. The whole purpose was to show you that when you use Möbius by Digital Ed for your math courses, for your STEM courses, you can build courses quickly. We have 30 pre-built content packs at your disposal to use, and it truly is at your disposal. You can modify and change whatever you want.